And all of a sudden, he just walked up to me and took my...
Country music has its sweet songs, but behind the melodies, some women lived life on their own bold terms. They loved, they danced, and they broke the rules, leaving a trail of gossip and legend. Their relationships created headlines and whispers. Who were these rebellious queens? What secrets did they hide behind the spotlight? Join us as we explore 15 country legends who lived life exactly how they wanted, no matter what anyone thought. Number 15, Mindy McCready. Mindy McCready's story feels heavy from the very start. She was born on November 30th, 1975, and even as a teenager, her voice sounded older than her years, full of pain and longing. Nashville noticed her fast, and fame came early and loud. While she was still very young, her songs were everywhere, and people quickly fell in love with her sadness. Behind the music, her life never slowed down. Her relationships stayed messy and very public. Some of the men she loved were married. Others came with chaos and heartbreak. Every breakup became a headline, and every mistake turned into something the whole world watched. The pressure never gave her room to breathe. As time passed, the trouble grew deeper. Arrests, court appearances, and repeated trips to rehab followed her everywhere. Custody battles over her children played out in public. Each time she tried to stand back up, another setback followed. Fame did not protect her. It made everything louder and harder to escape. Mindy also fought addiction and deep depression for many years. Fans kept hoping each comeback would finally save her. But the cycle continued. Love turned painful. Trust kept breaking. The spotlight stayed fixed on her worst moments instead of her healing and strength. On February 17, 2013, Mindy McCready died at the age of 37. Her death shocked the country music world, and many people felt they had watched her fall in slow motion and could not stop it. She left behind a powerful voice, unfinished dreams, and a quiet warning about what fame can do to someone who is already hurting. But Mindy was not the first woman in country music to live a beautiful life on stage while suffering behind the scenes. Before her, another legend carried heartbreak through love, marriage, and scandal. Her story is darker, older, and still whispered about today. Number 14, Tammy Wynette. Tammy Wynette was born on May 5, 1942, and from the outside she looked like the perfect country woman. Her voice was soft, emotional, and comforting. Fans called her the First Lady of Country Music. Her songs spoke about loyalty, love, and standing by your man. But behind that image, her real life was full of pain and constant struggle. Tammy married 5 times, and none of those marriages were simple or peaceful. Her most famous relationship was with George Jones. Together they made beautiful music, but their marriage was stormy and unstable. Alcohol, hard substances, jealousy, and long separations slowly broke them apart. What fans heard on records was often the opposite of what Tammy lived at home. As the years went on, Tammy's health became a mystery. She suffered from intense pain and was hospitalized many times. Some believed she was over-medicated, others believed she was hiding abuse. Rumors followed her everywhere, and the truth was never fully clear. Even as her body weakened, she kept performing, because stopping felt like giving up. Money problems, bad management, and broken trust also followed her later years. The woman who once ruled the charts found herself fighting to stay in control of her own life. Fame kept her visible, but it never kept her safe. Tammy Wynette died on April 6, 1998, at the age of 55. Her death shocked fans, not just because she was gone, but because so many questions were left unanswered. To this day, people still wonder how much pain she truly carried behind her gentle voice. Number 13, LeAnn Rimes. LeAnn Rimes was born on August 28, 1982, and she became famous before most people finished growing up. As a child, she was seen as pure talent and promise. Her voice was powerful, controlled, and far beyond her age. Country music welcomed her as a miracle, someone who seemed untouched by chaos. But that image cracked when LeAnn was 27 years old. She became involved in a relationship with a married man, and the news spread fast. What followed was one of the most talked-about scandals in modern country music. Fans felt betrayed. The media showed no mercy. Every move she made was judged and replayed. The backlash was intense. LeAnn lost endorsements, friendships, and the trust of many longtime supporters. Her once clean image disappeared almost overnight. Even after the relationship became a marriage, the criticism did not stop. People questioned her choices, her character, and her place in country music. At the same time, LeAnn was struggling emotionally. She spoke openly about anxiety, eating disorders, and the pressure of growing up famous. The scandal did not create her pain, but it made it impossible to hide. Fame stopped being a dream and started feeling like a punishment. Even though she continued to make music, her career never fully returned to its earlier height. The shadow of that moment followed her for years. It became a turning point that divided her life into before and after. And yet, LeAnn's story was not about slow decline or hidden suffering. It was about one decision that changed everything. But the next woman on this list shocked country music in a very different way. Not through scandal, but through fearless honesty that the industry was not ready for. Number 12, Loretta Lynn. Loretta Lynn was born on April 14, 1932, in a small mountain cabin far away from fame or comfort. She married at the age of 13, long before she understood what marriage really meant. Her life became hard very early, filled with responsibility, children, and a relationship that was often loving but also deeply painful. When Loretta entered country music, she did something dangerous for her time. She told the truth. She sang about marriage problems, cheating, birth control, drinking, and desire. These were topics most women were expected to stay quiet about. Radio stations refused to play some of her songs. Industry leaders warned her to slow down, but Loretta did not listen. Her marriage was complicated. Love and pain lived side by side. She spoke openly about fights, control, and emotional suffering. Instead of hiding it, she turned it into music. That honesty shocked listeners, especially coming from a woman in country music during those years. Loretta also faced rumors, judgment, and constant criticism. Some called her reckless. Others said she was destroying the image of country women. But fans connected with her because she sounded real. She was not pretending to live a perfect life. Over time, Loretta became a legend. But the scars never fully faded. The truth she carried came at a personal cost. She lived a long life, passing away on October 4th, 2022, at the age of 90. Her legacy remains powerful because she said what others were afraid to say. Number 11, Janie Fricke. Janie Fricke was born on December 19, 1947, and rose to fame during the height of polished country music. Her voice was smooth, emotional, and easy to love. On stage, everything looked controlled and graceful, but behind the scenes, her success came with constant speculation. During her rise in the late 1970s and early 1980s, rumors followed Janie closely. People whispered about secret relationships and industry favoritism. Some claimed her success came too easily. Others questioned who was helping her behind closed doors. None of it was proven, but the talk never stopped. In an industry where image mattered deeply, these rumors slowly chipped away at her reputation. Janie stayed quiet. She did not fight back publicly. She focused on her music and tried to keep her personal life private. But silence often allowed speculation to grow even louder. The pressure of staying perfect while being questioned from every angle took its toll. As trends changed, her time in the spotlight faded faster than expected. While she never experienced public scandals like arrests or affairs, the quiet damage was real. Janie's story shows how controversy does not always explode. Sometimes it lingers. It lives inside comments, closed doors, and lost opportunities. Her name became a reminder of how quickly success can turn fragile when rumors replace facts. Number 10, Lynn Anderson. Lynn Anderson was born on September 26, 1947, and success came fast. Her music crossed boundaries, reaching country and pop audiences alike. She had fame, awards, and admiration. But when the spotlight dimmed, her life became increasingly troubled. As the years passed, Lynn struggled with addiction and personal instability. Arrests and legal troubles became public knowledge. These moments shocked fans who remembered her as polished and confident. The contrast between her early success and later struggles was painful to watch. Lynn often tried to rebuild her life. She returned to music more than once, hoping for a fresh start. But the past followed her closely. The media focused more on her mistakes than her efforts to heal. Each setback felt heavier than the last. Financial problems and broken relationships added to her struggles. Fame had given her everything, then slowly took it away. Unlike some stars who disappeared quietly, Lynn's troubles stayed visible, turning her life into a public lesson about how unforgiving the industry can be. She continued fighting until the end. Lynn Anderson died on July 30th, 2015, at the age of 67. Her death closed a chapter filled with talent, triumph, and tragedy. Her story reminds us that not all scandals begin with rebellion or choice. Some begin with pressure, loneliness, and the slow loss of control. And as the list continues, the controversies change shape, becoming more modern, louder, and harder to escape. Number 9. Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift was born on December 13, 1989, and she entered country music with a fresh, innocent image. She wrote songs about young love, crushes, and heartbreak in a way that felt personal and honest. Fans saw her as relatable, like someone writing in a diary and turning those pages into music. As her fame grew, so did attention on her personal life. Her relationships became public very quickly. Each breakup was followed by songs, headlines, and endless discussion. Instead of focusing on her work, many people focused on who she was dating and how long it lasted. The pattern became a media obsession. Taylor was often criticized in ways male artists were not. She was called dramatic, careless, or unable to keep love. These labels followed her for years, but she kept writing. She turned judgment into lyrics and used criticism as fuel. The more people talked, the more her music reached new audiences. Over time, she slowly moved away from traditional country music. That shift created backlash from longtime fans. Some felt betrayed. Others said she never truly belonged. But Taylor continued to grow, becoming one of the most powerful voices in modern music. Her controversy was not built on arrests or scandals. It was built on perception, on how a young woman was expected to behave, love, and stay quiet. Taylor refused to do that. She stayed visible, confident, and in control of her story. Yet while Taylor faced criticism through fame and judgment, the next woman faced controversy through emotion, fire, and public heartbreak. Her story was louder, angrier, and deeply tied to pain that spilled into her music. Number 8. Miranda Lambert. Miranda Lambert was born on November 10, 1983, and from the beginning she carried a tough, fearless image. Her music was sharp and emotional. She sang about betrayal, anger, and survival without apology. Fans connected with her honesty because it felt raw and real. Her personal life quickly became part of her public story. Her marriage and later divorce played out in headlines. Songs were analyzed line by line, with listeners trying to connect lyrics to real moments. Every emotion she shared was treated like evidence. Miranda became known for her fiery personality. Stories followed her about fights, emotional outbursts, and intense reactions. Some admired her strength. Others saw her as unstable. The truth likely lived somewhere in between. Fame magnified everything she felt. She also faced criticism for moving on quickly after heartbreak. The pressure to explain herself never stopped. But Miranda refused to soften her image. She leaned into it. Her music became darker, louder, and more personal as time passed. Unlike stars who tried to repair their image, Miranda allowed hers to stay rough around the edges. That honesty kept her connected to fans, even as controversy followed her. She remained successful, but never untouched by judgment. Number 7. Kacey Musgraves. Kacey Musgraves was born on August 21, 1988, and she entered country music with a gentle voice and sharp ideas. At first, she seemed harmless, but her lyrics quickly revealed something different. She questioned tradition, small-town judgment, and strict expectations placed on women. Kacey sang about freedom, love without shame, and choosing your own path. These themes made some listeners uncomfortable. Conservative fans pushed back, radio stations hesitated, critics argued she was changing country music too much. Her personal life also drew attention. Her marriage and later divorce became part of the story around her music. Instead of hiding, she used those experiences as quiet reflections. There were no dramatic explosions, just honesty and calm acceptance. Kacey's controversy came from refusing to pretend. She did not chase approval, she did not argue loudly, she simply stayed true to herself. That approach confused people who expected rebellion to look angry or messy. Over time, her influence grew. Younger artists looked to her as proof that country music could be thoughtful and open. Even those who disagreed with her could not ignore her impact. Her story shows that controversy does not always shout. Sometimes it whispers and slowly changes everything. And as this list continues, the scandals fade, but the stories remain, each one revealing a different way women in country music were judged, tested, and remembered. Number 6. Loretta Lynn. Loretta Lynn was born on April 14, 1932, and came from absolutely nothing. A poor girl growing up in the Kentucky mountains with barely enough to eat. She married at just 13 years old to a man who was 21. That alone tells you how different times were and how hard her life started. She turned that hardscrabble beginning into country music legend status, proving you don't need privilege to make it big if you've got enough talent and grit. Her songs told her real story without sugarcoating anything. She sang about being a coal miner's daughter with pride, making poverty sound dignified instead of shameful. But Loretta didn't stop at safe topics. She went places most female country singers were terrified to go. When she released a song about birth control in 1975, America absolutely lost its mind. This was controversial stuff, talking openly about reproductive rights and women having control over their own bodies. Radio stations banned it. Religious groups protested outside her concerts. Conservative fans turned their backs on her, and Loretta just kept singing it anyway, becoming a symbol of female courage in the process. She sang about cheating husbands, about being tired of having babies, about wanting respect and equality. On stage, Loretta was pure country authenticity, but those piercing eyes and that powerful voice revealed something deeper. This wasn't a woman you could push around or manipulate. She'd been through too much, survived too many hard times to let anyone control her now. She never hid the rough parts of herself to seem more acceptable. The audience got all of Loretta, the tender and the tough, the romantic and the realistic. She proved you could stay true to your roots while pushing boundaries that desperately needed pushing. Number 5. Dolly Parton. Dolly Parton was born on January 19, 1946, and isn't just a country music name. She's basically woven into American culture itself. That massive curly blonde hair, the tiny waist, those bright colorful dresses, and that smile that lights up entire rooms. When Dolly shows up anywhere, it's like sunshine just walked through the door. But don't let all that sparkle and glitter fool you for 1 second. Behind the glamour is one of the sharpest minds in the entire music business. Dolly built an empire by being smart, strategic, and never letting anyone underestimate her just because she looked like a living Barbie doll. Her songs hit you right in the feelings every single time. When she sang her farewell love song, you believed every word of that bittersweet goodbye. Dolly made you think she'd personally lived through every emotion she sang about, even when she hadn't. The press loved creating rumors about Dolly's personal life for decades. Whispers about affairs that never happened, questions about her long marriage to a man nobody ever sees, speculation about her relationships with various musicians and friends. Dolly handled it all with incredible grace and sharp wit, deflecting with humor instead of getting defensive or angry. She once famously said she didn't care what people thought about her as long as they kept talking about her, and people never stopped talking. Dolly turned her appearance, her sexuality, her entire persona into a brand that made her wealthy and famous beyond most people's wildest dreams. She proved you could own your femininity completely and still be taken seriously. Number 4. Patsy Cline. Patsy Cline was born on September 8, 1932, and died on March 5, 1963, at just 30 years old. Her voice echoed across America in the early 60s, blending raw country emotion with pop elegance in a way nobody had quite managed before her. When Patsy sang, you stopped whatever you were doing and just listened. Songs she recorded over 60 years ago still get played constantly today because they're simply timeless classics. That aching ballad about going crazy over someone, that heartbreaking song about falling to pieces after a breakup, they never get old or lose their power. Patsy put so much soul and genuine feeling into every single note. On stage, Patsy radiated confidence and undeniable charm. But the real Patsy, the woman her fellow musicians knew personally, had a much tougher edge than audiences realized. She wasn't afraid to drink whiskey with the guys, speak her mind bluntly without apology, or even curse when the situation called for it. Male colleagues in the industry had complicated feelings about Patsy. They admired her incredible talent and respected her absolute refusal to be pushed around or treated like less than them. But they were also genuinely scared of her because Patsy never let anyone bully her or take advantage. She'd stand her ground against anybody regardless of their position or power. Rumors about romantic entanglements followed her throughout her short career. Whispers about relationships that may or may not have actually happened. Speculation about affairs with other musicians. Patsy never let the gossip overshadow her music or derail her success. She was the kind of woman men wanted to love but were afraid to hurt, knowing she'd turn that pain into an unforgettable song. Number 3. Crystal Gayle. Crystal Gayle was born on January 9th, 1951, and from the very beginning, she was different from most country singers. While everyone else kept things modest and traditional, Crystal showed up looking like she belonged on a Hollywood red carpet instead of the Grand Ole Opry stage. Her hair became legendary. It grew so long it nearly touched the floor, this beautiful dark curtain that she'd swing and toss during performances. That hair alone made her stand out, made people stare, made conservative Nashville uncomfortable. Country music in the 70s wanted women to look wholesome and approachable. Crystal looked glamorous and untouchable. She wore dresses that sparkled under the lights, elegant gowns that hugged her figure in ways that made traditionalists nervous. Her makeup was always perfect, her style more Vegas showgirl than country girl. And her voice, smooth as silk, could make the saddest songs sound beautiful instead of just painful. The thing about Crystal was that she never actually caused scandals. There were no arrests, no public affairs, no messy divorces splashed across tabloid covers. Her controversy came purely from how she looked and presented herself. In conservative country music circles, that was enough to raise eyebrows and start whispers. Radio programmers debated whether she was too pop, too glamorous, too different for traditional country stations. Some venues hesitated to book her because she didn't fit their image of what a country singer should be. Behind closed doors, industry people questioned whether her success came from talent or just from being beautiful and different. Crystal pushed boundaries without saying a word. She didn't need to make bold statements or sing controversial lyrics, just showing up looking the way she did, refusing to tone down her style to make others comfortable. That was rebellion enough in Nashville's world. Her sister was the legendary Loretta Lynn, who pushed boundaries with her words and honesty. Crystal pushed boundaries with her image and presentation. Two different approaches to challenging the same conservative industry, both equally effective in their own way. The whispers and quiet resistance never stopped Crystal from being successful. She had hit after hit, won awards, and built a career that lasted decades. But she'll always be remembered as the woman who was too glamorous, too polished, too different for country music to fully embrace without hesitation. While Crystal faced quiet resistance for simply looking too good, the next woman dealt with much louder rumors, despite keeping her private life locked down tight. Number 2, Faith Hill. Faith Hill was born on September 21, 1967, and burst onto the country scene in the mid-90s with a voice that could melt hearts and a face that launched 1,000 magazine covers. That wavy blonde hair, those gorgeous features, and a smile that seemed genuine made her an instant star. But in those early years of her career, before she became the established superstar everyone knows today, Faith dealt with some messy speculation. The industry gossip mill loved talking about her romantic life, her relationships, who she was dating, and whether her success had anything to do with those connections. Some of the rumors were typical music industry nonsense, whispers about using relationships to advance her career, suggestions that her talent wasn't the only reason she got opportunities. The kind of garbage that female artists deal with constantly, while male artists rarely face the same scrutiny. There were also questions and speculation about her past before fame, relationships from her younger years that people tried to dig up and sensationalize. Faith was young, attractive, and successful, which apparently meant some people felt entitled to investigate every detail of her personal life. The turning point came when she married fellow country superstar Tim McGraw. Their relationship became one of country music's most famous marriages, this beautiful power couple that everyone wanted to believe in. But even that brought controversy and gossip in the beginning. Tabloids tried constantly to create drama where none existed. They'd publish stories suggesting trouble in the marriage, hint at affairs that weren't happening, manufacture scandals out of thin air just to sell magazines. It was relentless and exhausting. What Faith did brilliantly was retreat into privacy. She stopped feeding the gossip machine, stopped responding to rumors, and focused entirely on her music and family. She built walls around her personal life that reporters couldn't climb over. As the years went on, the controversy faded. Faith's image stabilized into this picture of success, talent, beauty, and a solid marriage. The early messiness got forgotten as she proved herself over and over through hit songs and incredible performances. Today, most people think of Faith Hill as relatively scandal-free, but that's only because she managed the situation so well early on. She learned quickly how to protect herself and her family from the darker side of fame. Faith showed that sometimes the best response to controversy is silence and letting your work speak for itself. She refused to play the tabloid game, and eventually they had to find other targets because she simply wouldn't give them anything to work with. Number 1, Dolly Parton. Dolly Parton was born on January 19, 1946 in the Tennessee mountains and somehow became one of the most famous women in the world while remaining almost completely scandal-free. In an industry where drama and controversy seem inevitable, especially for women, Dolly is the remarkable exception. Think about how strange that is. This woman has been in the spotlight for over 60 years. She dresses in ways that conservative people should have criticized endlessly. Her image is built on big hair, tight clothes, and an obvious celebration of her physical appearance. She makes jokes about her looks constantly, draws attention to her body in ways that should have caused outrage. Yet somehow nothing ever stuck. No real scandals, no confirmed affairs, no public meltdowns, no messy divorces or custody battles. The gossip magazines tried for decades to find something, anything they could turn into a headline. They came up empty every single time. Rumors followed Dolly throughout her entire career, sure. People whispered about her marriage, questioning why she and her husband Carl were rarely photographed together. They speculated about relationships with various musicians and industry people. Tabloids published story after story suggesting secret affairs or hidden drama. Dolly's response was always the same: humor, deflection, and an absolute refusal to give them anything real to work with. She'd make jokes about the rumors, laugh them off, change the subject with such charm that nobody could stay mad or keep pushing. She was too likable, too quick-witted, too genuinely kind for the attacks to land. Her personal life stayed locked down tighter than Fort Knox. Despite being one of the most public figures in entertainment, nobody actually knows what happens in Dolly's private world. That marriage everyone questions? Still going after over 50 years? Those rumored affairs? Never a single piece of real evidence. What makes Dolly the least controversial person on this entire list is that she figured out something most celebrities never learn. You can be bold, sexy, provocative, and push boundaries with your image, while keeping your actual personal life completely private. You can control the narrative without being controlling. She built an empire on an image that should have caused constant scandal, but somehow never did. She's been investigated, questioned, and scrutinized for decades by media desperate to find something scandalous. They never succeeded because there was nothing to find. Dolly Parton proved you can be exactly who you want to be, look however you want to look, and still maintain dignity and privacy. She's the perfect example of how to be famous without letting fame destroy you. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe, and also click the next video shown on your screen.